Hi, I'm John, and today I'm going to be talking about people quitting YouTube. You're hearing a lot about this where people that have been making YouTube videos for a long time, and I mean a long time, they get burned out. They don't want to do it anymore. I think a lot of them have made quite a bit of money, and in doing so, they don't really need to do this anymore. Nobody needs to do YouTube. I think it's interesting that some of these major YouTube people all of a sudden are crawling out of the woodwork saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of it and I'm going to quit. But in quitting, they continue on in some form or another. They don't totally quit, I don't think. And I also find it fascinating that they do a send off video where they say, well, I'm quitting. Let's do a review. Like this one guy that I saw does all these different scenes from different videos. And a lot of people have enjoyed his stuff over the years. I'm not begrudging him that or the money he made or anything like that. But if you're going to quit, you don't have to make a big production of quitting. All you have to do is just stop making the videos. That's what I think about it. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that have interesting things to say, and I'm always looking for people that don't get much shine because I think those are the most interesting. Not the people who are at 10 million subscribers. That's usually not very interesting, and it has to be so overproduced that it takes on an air of being kind of fakey. It's not real anymore, which is what I think YouTube was originally all about. So anyway, this one guy makes this video. Was I want to say it was Tom Scott, but I think when I think of Tom Scott, I think of saxophonist. Anyway, he had done all these different videos, and then at the end shows him going off in a helicopter, hanging from it. And what I thought was interesting about it was the lengths of narcissism in all this. When people start getting popular on YouTube, they tend to think that they're kind of special and more interesting than maybe they are. I find a lot of overproduced, over commercialized type of YouTubing not interesting at all, and I avoid it because it's just not interesting. It's like, I get it. You're going to do something unusual, or you're going to go into a haunted house or something. It all gets very kind of dull and boring, and I really seek out those things that have less traction because those are the most interesting. You might find some nugget that's really interesting on something like that. And I don't say that just because I have a low subscriber count. I say that because I mean it. I like stuff that's a little off the beaten path. And you're not going to get that when you're, watching a mainstream YouTube channel. But some of them, when they say they're going to quit, they go through this big production. Oh, I'm quitting. I'm quitting. And I don't know if they need that last little bit of adulation or narcissistic hit or that dopamine hit before they get the send off. Some of them have just made a ton of money. They clearly don't need to do it anymore. They're through this. Some of these real high-end YouTubers are independently wealthy now. That being said, there's something about people getting famous, whether it's in Hollywood or politics or even on something like YouTube. I think it changes them, and they start to get a sense that I owe this to my fans to tell them all about why I'm quitting. Well, who cares? Just shut the dang thing off. Quit making videos. If you want to say something real quick, here's a quitting YouTube. I'm quitting YouTube, so you're not going to see any more videos from me. Thanks for all the views. Talk to you later. There you go. There's your quit video. And just let people know that so they know you're not dead and they're looking for proof of life or something like that. I find it interesting that there's a level of narcissism in YouTube. And it seems to be the people that are most into themselves are probably the most successful. That's not always the case. Um, every person has a bit of self-centeredness, but some of this, when people get an incredible amount of views, an incredible amount of subscribers, they get this air about them, and it's the same thing of what you get in Hollywood, that type of thing. And I find nothing that could be more boring. And when I see somebody saying, I'm quitting YouTube, off into the sunset, I go, just go already. Gosh, who cares? There's lots of other interesting people out there. And like I said, there's some of the most interesting things I've seen are real low view counts, for sure. And it's really hard to describe. There are just a lot of people that are burning out on it. And if you're burning out on it, just shut it off. Quit doing it. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. Just stop doing it and make yourself happy. You don't even owe anybody an explanation. If you don't want to tell anybody what you've done or that you're stopping, that you have all these millions of viewers and you just stop, you don't owe them any explanation. This is a free will type of platform. You don't have to tell anybody anything unless you want to make a big deal out of it and feed that narcissistic need to be, notice me, look, mommy and daddy, look at me. It's that kind of a thing. It's the one thing I don't like about YouTube. I like YouTube for information that I can get that's helpful for me to fix something. I'm a typical older guy that way. And then, just finding things that are just outside of what is considered to be everyday life, And, even that has gotten kind of old, where people were doing van life for a while and people were doing, making a log cabin or things like that. It's interesting for a while, but then it also gets kind of dull. I don't know about you, but, we all go in phases of this. And I kind of wonder if this whole thing with YouTube or any other video sharing platform is going to die. And in the next 10 years, it's going to die really a horrendous death when nobody really wants to do it this way anymore. And when stuff gets so produced and overproduced, it becomes just like TV. And I don't know, I'm like a lot of younger people, I don't really like TV anymore. And one of the things that that I do when I watch something like TV or, a video, I want to make sure that what I'm listening to isn't talking down to me or anything like that. I tend to watch British TV. My wife and I have gotten away from American TV because we can with on-demand services. And it seems that there's a higher level of quality with either British TV or movies. It just seems to be better than what we produce here in America. But it all kind of rolls together. Everybody, on YouTube, they all want to be famous. And once they get famous, they make money. And then they start to get annoying and kind of obnoxious. And then they start getting tired of doing it after about 10 years. And it's like, oh, I'm going to quit. I need to tell you all about it. And it's like, who cares? Just quit. That's the point I'm making. A lot of people are making kind of reactions to people quitting. And I guess this is too. But I don't get it. If it doesn't make you happy anymore, quit doing it. If you like the money, but you don't like the job, well, welcome to the real world. There's nothing about this that's so great. And I'm just thinking that over the next 10 years, we're going to start to see a decline of people doing YouTube and podcasts. I mean, how many times are you going to talk about Sasquatch? How many times are you going to talk about UFOs? How many times are you going to talk about a cabin that I built in the woods? I mean, it does get a little bit much. And, maybe people start going back to books and just start reading again. think that would be great. I don't read enough. That's what I should really do instead of doing this kind of thing or consuming this kind of thing. I think it's sometimes brain rot. Anyway, I thought I'd talk about it. If you're going to quit YouTube and quit making videos, then just do it. That's what will happen to me. There'll just come a day when I just don't want to do it anymore. Whether there's, of course, I don't make any money on it, but even if I did, there'll just come a day where I'll just say, that's enough for me. I hope it's enough for you. Anyway, you have a great day, and we'll talk again soon if I can talk.